Libra rising. Okay, so Libra is Venus ruled, alongside with Taurus. And in terms of the body parts, it rules the skin, the lips, the bum, the ass, and kidneys. And so usually these features are either accentuated in some way. But because Libra is all about balance and harmony and those kind of things, well, you'll be able to spot a Libra rising by their really great skin, like either hourglass figure or like pear-shaped. And if they, for example, don't have good skin, if your Libra rising experience like a breakout or constant acne or like long-term skin disorders, it's suggesting that there is some disharmony. There is something that is throwing you off balance in your life. So you want to look to your Venus. You want to look to your Venus, and that's going to indicate what kind of things tend to throw you off. So Kim Kardashian is a really good example of this. Even though she's not actually a Libra rising, she does have some significant Libra placements. And I think I mentioned it in a previous video that because your rising is who you've come to be, you need to utilize your rising sign the most, to the point where you can even make money off it. So using the Kim Kardashian example, she's making money. She's cultivating her Libra-ness, selling her skin products. She's making money off her lips, her bum, like she's become famous on all these things. So we can really cultivate and become successful through our rising sign. So that's just one example. So whether they know it or not, Libra risings can be overgiving, but they are very giving type of people. So, and it's not necessarily with gifts, because that's more Leo energy, but they are the friend who will just kind of give you everything that they have in like their time, their logic, their mind. So I don't know, if you were looking for a house, you go to sleep, you wake up one day, it's a Libra rising that has sent you a link to the house, the exact house that fits all the requirements that you need from this house. And you've probably woken up to a message from Libra rising sending you a link. Like, they've done that work for you. That's the kind of giving that Libra does. They dedicate their time and energy to you. But sometimes can do that too much for others. They can also overgive and find themselves in a place where they're either empty or not getting that energy reciprocated. So that's something for Libra risings to bear in mind. And so your purpose is almost about getting into disharmonious relationships in order to create harmony in them, and showing and discovering how to create unionship in a situation where they're not necessarily compatible, or at first sight are not necessarily like the most like put together. And so Libra risings tend to get in, or have maybe had experiences in very tumultuous relationships, or really significant relationships that have been really disharmonious, that have been really toxic, or have really like thrown them off. They tend to attract a lot of bad energy in their relationship. They also have Scorpio in the second house. And so something that Libra rising needs to be mindful of is the soul ties. That is like whoever they get into bed with, whoever they're sleeping with, that's really important for them, because they can create really magnetic soul ties, and whatever they are like naturally attracting the energy from that other person. So they've got to be really careful about who they get into a relationship with, because they more than anyone can absorb good and bad traits from whoever they let in their life. And so Libra is all about that charm. They have a great sense of humor. People naturally are attracted to them. They're never short of romantic attraction. They always got someone to text, or when they're like actively putting themselves out there, they're never without, or they never have like a dry spell. Even if they're not actively pursuing anyone, there's always someone that's interested in them. And sometimes you just have to be there for people to be attracted to you. You do this effortlessly. People just want to know you and get to know you more, even if you're not really saying much. You're in a party environment and people just want to get to know you. They come up to you and want to make friends, want to pick your brain. That's very much like a Libra rising energy. Libra risings are great initiators. They are really great at the ideas and having ideas and thinking up and imagining all kinds of things for themselves and for people, especially around business. Where they struggle then, because they would, in whole sign, they would have Pisces on the 6th, is being able to hold themselves accountable to the steps that it takes to get them there. They're not very good at the follow through, unless they really are like in their mojos. They find it naturally difficult to get into a mojo, but when they are in it, they are like in it for the long haul, and they're like they can just make it happen. But they do struggle to get all their ideas that they want to do into like fruition. Therapy for them is like, as long as they can tell you about their life, then they can feel better. They tend to be people who like to know that they can tell you about themselves and like feel heard, and you'll listen to their problems. They love people who listen to their problems, because that's kind of like, they feel like they are almost burdened by this thing that they always listen to other people's problems, but they love it when they can connect with people who will listen to their problems, feel what they're feeling, let them express them and get it all out, and then they just move on to the next. But they love people like that. These are also people who really value their reputation, so never speak ill of if a Libra rising hears that you spoke ill of them without them knowing, like talk behind their back about their reputation, how they go about their business, like that's something that can really like just make them switch. And one thing you've come to cultivate in this lifetime is stillness. They tend to struggle with stillness, meditation, really trying to reflect on things and be able to cultivate the lesson in a way that they have to. So they've got to really cultivate stillness and prayer. And lastly, what I'll say about Libra rising is that they've come to learn how to surrender, particularly on the material world. Their mindset around money and finances and things that they like attach to and cling on to. They've come to this world to detach from all those things, getting more involved into like worldly matters rather than like how to get them rich and how to be successful. They need to detach and let go of this idea of everything has to be perfect and everything has to go well and it's got to look like the opposite of my upbringing, and they've got to focus more on what is making them happy in the now and enjoying the process rather than like trying to get to the end goal.